I'm going to bring in our first speaker of the day. Her name is Anaiya Sophia, and so I'm going to bring her on. And so, Anaiya.
Hello.
Welcome. I'm so excited to have you here.
Hi, everybody. It's a real honor to be here. What a day.
Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you so much for joining us. And I'm going to share a little bit about Anaiya and what she provides in the world. Anaiya Sophia, she is a mystic, storyteller, and author of revelatory wisdom. She teaches workshops throughout the world and is best known for the creation of Sacred Body Awakening, known for showing up as a trailblazing resource of unapologetic truth and transparent courage. Her heart is both fierce and tender. She carries an oral message that stirs the remembrance of a continuous lineage with a feminine principle that throughout the centuries has preserved its spiritual dignity without the need for permission or recognition from any other source. Anaiya lives in the Qatar region of southern France with her beloved husband, Pete Wilson. Together they run a B&B at the base of Montsegur, where individuals, families, and large groups can come and stay. Anaiya is able to conduct baptism, marriage, divorce, and death ceremonies, and there is a chapel and spring on site. That is amazing. Welcome, Anaiya. I am so grateful to have you here.
Thank you so much. Yeah, likewise, absolutely likewise.
And so, you know, I know that there's so many powerful frequencies coming in, and we are open to receiving any teaching or transmission or activation or anything you're feeling called to share for today. And we receive with open hearts, and we're ready to experience your vibration.
All righty. Well, my dearest friends, what I'm about to share with you is factual. It is true, but I have added some colors and some textures so that the story goes a little deeper than just mere data. So it is true to say that in this great year we've been living, 2020, whilst we went in and out of lockdown and restrictions and the pandemic, like a dark angel of death, floated over our rooftops and sent us scuttling inside our homes. It is also really important to notice what else has been rising to the surface as we took shelter in our burrows. But first of all, I'm on the Gnostic path. My mind, my consciousness likes to seek out those kinds of things and dwell and chew on all things Gnostic, mystical, and contemplative. Anyway, it is worth noting that in 1945, when 2 atomic bombs were dropped on Japan, within 1 month of that happening, up comes the Nag Hammadi scripts. And as a Gnostic, as a mystic, this is precious revelatory wisdom. As something terrible goes down, something glorious comes up. That cannot be not noted. And so this year, I've been looking for that same pattern. And there has been 2 extravagant discoveries this year whilst all of this has been happening. The first one is the Saqqara Step Pyramid just outside the Giza Plateau in Egypt. We all know of Saqqara, it's been there a very long time, but there is archaeologists continuing to excavate more of the temple complex outside of the pyramid. And I believe it was May this year that a great big find was discovered. Over 300 mummies were discovered, One of them being a little lion cub, which is the first ever that Egyptians managed to mummify a lion cub. But more importantly than that, they have found the tomb of a priest. But it goes even a step and a stage further than that. This priest and his family seemed to die in very sudden and tragic circumstances. That towards the end of his death, this priest asked to become one of the judges of Ma'at. Ma'at is the goddess of truth and justice. And she has 42 judges that when our souls pass over, we make our way to the underworld and we speak our negative confessions to the 42 judges. We would say something like, I have not stolen. And we would look at that judge or netter in the eye. And if we have stolen, it is very soon going to appear on our face. And that netter, that judge, will say, not true, you have stolen. And so you go around, all 42 judges, I have not stolen, I have not killed, I have not raised my voice. And the negative confession, when it's true what you're saying, it will be seen, and you will either make your way on and into the underworld or make your way through to the higher plateau. So this priest asked in ritual to become a judge of Ma'at. And that is who they have discovered this year, May 2020. This is really important. If he was accepted to become another presence that makes up one of those 42 judges, which are here to judge what is true and what is just, then this is a very good comrade alliance to have in our discovery, our midst again. So to me, that is like, wow, how amazing. And the excavation has not ended. There's more still being unearthed. There's a Netflix series on it as well. Another amazing thing that's happened and is happening right now as we speak is further excavation of Göbekli Tepe in Turkey. Because of technology, we're able to analyze now just how old this place is that's being discovered. And it looks like it's about 12,000 years old. And that this first little circle that we've discovered has at least 50 more circles to it, which makes it currently 50 times bigger than Stonehenge. Now, when we look at the surrounding area of this plateau in Turkey, around this enormous temple complex are hunters and gatherers and kind of like Neanderthal kind of tribes. Whereas this temple complex is so intricate, so intelligent, so precisely put together, so clearly aligned with astronomy, that of course we have to ask ourselves who built this, because it simply cannot be the hunters and gatherers. Graham Hancock has gone so far as to say this is the Garden of Eden. When I look at it, because of my Gnostic background and the Gnostic stories that go with the Garden of Eden, I say to myself, this is not so much the Garden of Eden. This is the place of the ones who organized the Garden of Eden. And in my language, that would be archons, fallen angels, great, impressive, and amazing fallen angels who just set up this whole thing called Eden and the creation of Adam and Eve and wrapped them in a little cotton wool perfect place. And of course, the moment when Eve bit into the apple, that just dissolved and the whole reality was started to be seen. And that being who was organizing everything was not impressed. And so Adam and Eve were fled from the garden. So if you just put those two things together, we've got a priest of Ma'at, and we have the location of the Garden of Eden. The priest of Ma'at judges truth and justice. And the Garden of Eden is a place of new creation. To me, I can't even quite articulate this yet. But it seems as if beings who orchestrate the beginnings and ends of things at a very high level are within our midst. And I think that's one of the things I want to share today, because this has been going on whilst we've all been in lockdown. No news about it, little bits here and there, but nothing as impressive as what I feel these finds actually are. So going back over to Margarita.
Thank you so much, Anaiya. That's really powerful. And I love that you are sharing this valuable information. And it is more than data, right? It's more than just information, because for that to be revealed when, as you pointed out, while we're in lockdown, we're so focused on our lockdown and what we're experiencing on a personal level that we're not noticing this greater experience and expansion that's happening. And I'm so glad that you pointed that out. And I know that it's so relevant to all of us, and of course to you, otherwise you wouldn't have shared it with us. And what do you feel is the most important takeaway that our viewers today, knowing that those who have been invited here are the new leaders of light to really assist in humanity's higher frequency as we evolve in unity and unification? What is the takeaway that you feel needs to, that they can come away with from this information?
I just want to say the words, this is a world without end. And I want us all to really soak that up. This is a world without end. It continues. It goes on and on and on, and there's cycles. And sometimes we're here and sometimes we're not here. But it doesn't take long for humanity to show up again. This is a world without end. And to somehow be able to lean into that like an old comfy leather or fake leather armchair and just kind of like, yeah, this is a world without end. But that doesn't mean complacency. That doesn't mean laziness. That doesn't mean someone else is going to do what I responsibly need to be doing right now. But it's to take away that panic of it's over, game over, we're going to be extinct, or the world's going to collapse, the global economy. This is a world without end.
Yes.
That's what I'd like to share.
Yeah, and that's so important. And I'm so glad that you shared that as the takeaway here, because I've noticed something similar where there has been a lot of panic around what the collective is experiencing. And, because there's a lot of uncertainty. And then on the other hand, there are some individuals I've noticed who are, kind of like relaxing, not participating, and saying, well, it's going to be fine anyway, right? So I don't need to do any action or be involved. And I love what you said about, this is a time of action and implementation and being part of that solution, and with the knowledge that it is a world without end and that we don't need to panic, because I think that I think it would be safe to say across the board in the past couple of days and weeks, it's been pretty intense for the collective. And so these are really deep words of wisdom that you're providing. Yeah.
Another, if I may just take a few more moments. This is the places I go. So this is just my character. Again, factual information. Out of the blue, from nowhere, no forecast, no prediction, nothing. I believe it was on the 31st of December last year and the 1st of January this year, a tremendous thunderstorm appeared over Uluru, Ayers Rock in Australia, and just went crazy over this huge sacred site. It struck Uluru a couple of times, which brought the Aboriginal people rushing to the monument. They're always close by anyway, because they are the guardians, but it was a very powerful event. And the news channels came the next day. It was a real big thing, and you can Google this. And after a few days, there was talk of, from the Aboriginal people, that Uluru conceived. This strike of lightning was a conception, and that this was the end piece of a ritual that they were calling the unfinished ritual. Definitely don't quote me too much on this. I'm just giving you little bits and pieces. So there was a huge, like, wow, what can this mean? Now that we're in December 2020, there is a general fragrance in the air that on the 21st of December, winter solstice, the Rainbow Serpent, which is the Earth's life force, serpentine nadi, a meridian flowing through the earth, going through her chakras, like Mount Shasta, Lake Titicaca, that on the 21st of December, this rainbow serpent, this feminine serpentine presence, is actually going to fire up the whole earth grid with her babies that was conceived on the 1st of January 2020. So this is me putting words to it now. What does that mean? Well, logic would say there's more energy. There's the mother, and now there's the offspring. There's also a sense that each offspring will make its way to one of the sacred sites on the planet and sort of nest and embed in that place and continue to inform the sacred site of what it is. What is its conception? What did it come with? And so, you know, a little serpent's going to go to Lake Titicaca, another one, perhaps Mount Kailash, another one, Table Mountain. And of course, this ties in with this great conjunction that the astrologers are also confirming. Yes, indeed, 21st of December. I believe it's Jupiter and Saturn. A great, it's like a turning of the page astrologically for this year. It's a real, indeed, what we have been living, we've turned the page. No one can say what this blank page is just yet. Many are saying we haven't decided. So there's two things coming in for the winter solstice. And I would say to everyone inclined in these matters, like I clearly am, think about where you're going to be. Think about who you're going to be with. Yeah, I think that's me.
Yes, and that is more powerful information. The mother, the offspring, and moving forward intentionally about who you want to be, who you want to be with, and who you want to become, because we really are entering this creatorship. You know, we are really becoming these creator beings, and so I'm loving what you're pointing out. This ancient knowledge that is so relevant now, because if we don't understand this ancient knowledge, we don't really learn how to move forward also, you know. So that's the value I'm personally taking from what you're sharing, is that there's such ancient knowledge that is coming to pass now, and that is becoming so relevant for all of us now, that we get to glean and understand, so that we can move forward with knowledge that's full and complete. And yeah, that's my personal feeling that I'm gathering from what you're sharing.
Yes, I often say it's an all hands on deck moment. And I think when I was first saying that, it was like all human hands on deck. But now I see a human hand, I see a paw, I see a wing, I see a reptile, I see, if Uluru had a hand, great, it goes, a great big red hand goes down, all hands on deck, all life forms, all gathering.
Yeah, I actually got chills as you were describing that, because I could feel almost kind of like a transmission. I could feel that unification frequency, because I really feel like that's even part of, as we ascend into this new form, it's really within this unified consciousness. And so I love that even the animals are part of it, and also the star beings and the angels and all those, beings who are here in assistance.
Yes.
We're really all in this together, and I love how you're just kind of tying this all together.
Thank
Mm,
you. Yeah,
thank you
yeah.
so much.
That's the imagery for sure.
And so, before I forget, I know that you have a free gift for our viewers today. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Yes, absolutely. It is a transmission. Which means a spoken audio with atmosphere, going deep into your beautiful being. And the story is to be that serpent energy on the 21st of December. So we become the Rainbow Serpent. We see what it's like to be conceived in Uluru, to make our way to Lake Titicaca, to then burst up into Mount Kailash, and to then go around the whole planet, informing uh, the rising of the Earth grid to its next level. With the animals, with the star beings, with the fallen angels, so that we get like a dress rehearsal, a taste of what this great conjunction could be in December, not as a human being, but as the current of energy that's gathering and perhaps with grace preparing to flow.
Yes. And so that is a beautiful gift, very generous as well. Thank you, Anaiya. And so make sure, those who are watching and those who are going to catch this on replay, that you check out Anaiya's free gift. It is going to be powerful. It feels transformative. And you're going to get a lot out of it, and to prepare your soul, your frequency, for December, and then also into the next year, because we get to prepare for that. So make sure you catch it. Her free gift is on the live dashboard, which you will have access to. And so, Anaiya, thank you so much. Do you have any closing either remarks or observances around 11/11, and what we get to experience as a collective that could be of assistance at this time?
Well, all I can do is share with you my innermost and my personal experience, because I've had my 11/11. Because for me, we're coming into evening. But I just want to share with you what I was doing at 11/11 this morning. I was raking a dog. I was raking a dog who is clearly on his way. He's making his way. And my heart was ripped open to see his eyes, partly in this world, partly in the other. And I wasn't ready for this level of gratitude and grief to flow through me. But when it's time for that, it's time for that. You can't hold it back. It's just way too big. And just as I was sort of like mopping up from the massiveness of it all, obviously I just flicked my phone to catch the time, and it was just after 20 past 11. So at 11:11 this morning on the 11th, I was bawling my eyes out for this beautiful winorama called Jasper. So what a thing to be doing at that portal.
Yes, and that's right. Thank you for reminding me. I sometimes I get a little confused on the time differences, and you've already had your 11:11, and now you're celebrating it with us as well, which I really appreciate, and I'm sure the viewers do too. And what a beautiful thing that you were able to really help, this being go to the other side. And I know that there's a lot of that happening right now, for a lot of beings, in human form, animal form, all types of forms right now. And so what a beautiful thing to be able to kind of doula that experience for that being.
Yeah, yeah, what a gift.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Anaiya. I'm so grateful that you took some time out of your day today to share it with us and to share your blessings and your wisdom with us, and this divine feminine experience of what we get to open into, not only for the 11:11 portal, but for the future and for this never-ending world that we live in, and that we get to just really expand rather than contract. And so much gratitude to you, Anaiya, and so many blessings to you.